Well, there's so many
that was the old, that was the John Deere tractor too.
Yeah.
Today? Did you see me here tonight? You're all like, skin. I know, he just got his haircut yesterday.
Well, so, you know,
I claim that and I never. No, that never worked. Yeah.
Thank you all for coming today. It's I've been waiting for this moment my entire life, and it's been a pleasure to share it with you. Thank you.
Welcome to Irvington's High Holy Day. And I've always understood that the mayor is in charge of the weather. So Mayor, if you could just hold it off just a little bit longer.
Didn't do so good today.
I want to recognize Meg Starrow and John Consello, who are here, and they were a part of the original design for the Pennsy, and some of the folks from Irvington who were involved, I don't know, for the last couple decades. Don Briggs, Kent Hankins, and Councilor Hunter is here, who's helped to do so much for Irvington, not just the Pennsy. So we're here to officially open this leg of the Pennsy Trail, which had been anticipated with much pent-up demand. You can't come by the trail like just now and see somebody running on it, bicycling on it, and it's as if a gate opened, and they didn't wait, as the construction crew guys will tell you, they didn't wait till it was officially done. This trail connects pedestrians and bicyclists to other trails like our Pleasant Run, our spacious parks, our library, bus lines, and our soon-to-be bus rapid transit line, as well as our retail establishments. It supports the use of alternative transportation and is one small step towards better air quality and less traffic congestion. And anybody who's tried to drive here today knows a little bit about traffic congestion. It serves as a catalyst for new commercial opportunities and boosts the economic revitalization of our historic urban neighborhood. And we're already seeing that happening. This area right here was Irvington's original downtown. We are standing where the town hall once was. And this is the only stretch of the Pennsy where retail fronts onto the trail. With this leg of the trail's construction, we've already seen the coal factory being developed, Inhabit's showroom, Coal Yard Coffee, Hummingbird Cafe, to name just a few of the most recent openings, and 2 additional soon-to-be open establishments. We're also here to thank the City of Indianapolis for the $9 million in capital improvements and financial support given to our neighborhood just in the past 3 years. In addition to the Pennsy, the city is rebuilding Bonnet Avenue, if you hadn't noticed, gave $500,000 to the coal factory, completed the Washington Streetscape Phase 1 a couple years ago. Phase 2 will be complete next year, and other repaving, curbs and sidewalk projects throughout the city, throughout the neighborhood. So thank you for your unprecedented support and confidence in our little Sleepy Hollow. It's proof that when a neighborhood comes together and speaks with a common voice, raises the private funds, applies for grants, and invests countless volunteer hours. The Garden Club, Friends of Irving Circle, Benton House, Historic Society, Bonnet Thompson, Irvington Terrorists, and the Friends of Ellenberger Park, and that little thing going on down the road up there, are all examples of how the few volunteer-driven initiatives where neighbors come together and take charge of a problem or an opportunity. When they do that, the city then pays attention and helps the local efforts where and how it makes sense to the betterment of not just the immediate vicinity, but also the community at large. We're very proud of our community and what we've accomplished. It's fantastic to gain the attention of private developers like Chris and Amy Baggett of Tyner Pond Farms and Mug Restaurant, soon to be restaurants. We have new businesses opening up and new families moving in. The momentum is definitely building in our neighborhood, and the signs of positive change are everywhere, albeit a little muddy. So thank you, Mayor Ballard, and all of your administration for the public investment and support of our neighborhood. We'll be sure to make all of Indianapolis as proud of Irvington as we are. So I'd like to introduce Kevin Whited of Indy to talk about the importance of this link in the city's overall trails network.
So sorry, I have allergies apparently this year in the fall, and so I keep losing my voice. So why the Pennsy? And I actually helped, John and Meg, I actually worked on this project really early on, many years ago, and I worked at SKA. So I remember when we got that first leg down, and it's really makes me feel good to know that it's still we're still working on that, and it really is important to the connectivity, not just because bicyclists. So IndyCog is a bicycle advocacy organization, and yes, we focus on bicycles, but we also focus on cities and walkability. And one of the great things about this trail and many of the other trails is that we'll give people the opportunity to get out and go for a walk, or use this bike trail, if you want to call it that, for the bicyclists to get downtown or other places in Irvington. So connectivity is really important, and this is one of the great things we're going to miss Mayor Ballard about. We didn't have to pitch him on that too hard. In fact, I often get calls from advocacy groups all over the country about how spoiled we are, and we may soon find that out after this election. So a lot of times we're like, you know, it'd be really nice if we had a bike lane on this street, we'll start to say, and there's someone will from DPW go, oh, we're already working on it. So they kind of steal our thunder a little bit. But so basically he's going to make us work once he leaves, and we begged him not to go, but you know. So with that, I really don't have much else to say. I mean, everybody knows the importance of trails, the connectivity, increases in property values. It saddens me every once in a while when people push back against getting trails in the neighborhood, but it's a great thing, and it's been proven time and time again. And actually, some of the most important research on trails has been done in Indianapolis years ago through the IU Policy Institute. So there you go. And am I introducing Mayor Ballard? So with no further ado, Mayor Ballard, the most bicycle and pedestrian-friendly mayor Indianapolis has ever had.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Margaret and Kevin, so much. We didn't quite get the day. About 2 or 3 more days. It's supposed to be 70 and sunny. So sorry about that. I'm getting lax in my mayoral weather duties. It is special to be out here, and it's good to see Councilor Hunter out here. Appreciate that, and the neighborhood Karen, neighborhood liaisons out here. So many people have really been working hard on this. Margaret really put it well, that when neighborhoods are organized and they know what they want, they're ready to receive the help, then it's much easier for the city to come alongside and do what needs to be done. And that's what has happened here. That is what will continue to happen in Irvington, because it is an organization that is together. And you can just go down a couple blocks and see the Halloween festival that's going on. It happens every year, and it gets better every year. There's a reason for all of that. It's because the people here are committed to where they live, and they want to make it as good as possible. And I was just meeting the new generation of leadership, because I'm getting rumors that the current generation of leadership is getting ready to retire. So, which is good. I mean, they've earned it out here, no question. Because this is one of the places that I talk about. We talk about neighborhood development and what we've been able to do the last few years. I always talk about Central State and Avondale Meadows and Wanamaker, and I always mention Irvington. A lot has happened in Irvington because Irvington is together, and they work together. It matters out here to everybody. And that's what's so important. Kevin is right about the trails. I get asked to speak across the country on bicycles. I get asked to go to a lot of bike summits. And I tell other mayors and I tell other municipalities as much as I possibly can, you cannot build enough trails. People want to live next to them. Businesses want to build next to them. Property values go up. Everybody uses them. And they use them even before they get done usually. It's very difficult to build too many trails in a city right now, especially the mature cities, which don't have enough to begin with. So being able to do this one in particular, not only, as Margaret said, you can see the businesses that are developing right alongside of it, but now East Siders now have a much easier path to get to downtown, to connect to all the other trails in the city, to get around the city in a different way than we ever have before. You know, I think most of you know when I became the mayor, there wasn't any bike lanes in the city. They say 1 mile. I have no idea where that was or what that connected to, but there it was. Now we have over 90 miles of bike lanes, and by the end of this year, we're going to have, if we don't have 200 miles of bike lanes and trails, we're going to be right next to it, which is remarkable when you think about it, and how quickly we were able to do that because of groups like here in Irvington, because of groups like that around the city of Indianapolis who knew what they wanted. We knew where we wanted to build. We wanted to know how we wanted to connect all these folks in the city of Indianapolis. It is special to be able to walk and to bike and to have people gather in certain spaces, and the trails are a part of that. And so this is obviously very special to me. When we did rebuild Indy, I had a lot of people around me who, we needed to resurface some roads, we needed to build some sidewalks, we needed to do this and this and this, but I said we have to leave something behind. We just can't do roads, and we just can't do this. We have to leave something behind, and what we left behind was connectivity. That was the intent, to let people get around better than they had been able to before. That was intentional. That was not an accident. That was intentional. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that, and I hope whoever follows me continues in that vein, because the connectivity piece of cities is so critical to wanting people to move into those neighborhoods, people connecting with everybody else in the city. That's why we do what we do. So this is just a special area. Obviously, Irvington's meant so much to Indianapolis over the years because it just, the vibrancy of it, and it just kind of re-energizes itself every few years, and you just never really know what's going to happen here in Irvington, and the people moving into it, just so many things that happen here. So really pleased to be here, obviously, on this morning, because the people in Irvington mean so much to the entire city of Indianapolis. So thanks everybody for coming out today. Really, really pleased to be here on the Pennsy Trail once again. Take care.
Don't run. Don't run. Oh my golly, Jesus. Here, you hold this one. Wow.
Okay, are we all good?
Yep, ready?
All right.
Scissors down. I'm not even, you cut first.
All right, ready? I'm going to count to 3. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
There we go. Can I use some hair with these? Oh my God. They are really sharp. Where does one get these ceremonial scissors?
They're locked away right there.
Golly, I guess. I used to have a shovel from something. I could do some edges with these.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you all for coming. Now the rain can start. No, the rain is not going to start till about midnight. So thank you all for coming. Have a stay and go to the festival, and have a wonderful Halloween in Irvington.